Is there anything against me like going across the grain this way on this side, but well, no, it'd be the same. Gosh, I'm losing my mind. Chatillon Lux. Chatillon Lux. It's hard for me to, gosh, it's hard to figure out how to do. Where did my brush go? Oh, it's hard to do it right hand, left hand. Yowzer. Chatillon Lux. Whoop. Whoa, make sure it's still recording. Action. Hello everyone, welcome to the Take Care Man channel. My name is Todd, and my goal in this channel is to equip men to take better care of themselves. So in today's shave, my first use of a DE Shavette. So I've used the Kamasori Shavette with the Feather Artist Club style blades, but this is my first time using any kind of Shavette with a double-edged blade as the inserted blade. It's technically half of a DE blade. I've got half of a Persona Red in there. And this is the Parker Shavette with the Rosewood handle. I'm not sure of the model number. I'll put it down in the description. But I've got that loaded in there. I've done pre-shave with the Parasso Sandalwood, hot towel, then this pre-shave, then a hot towel again. I decided today to use the first shaving brush I ever purchased, I guess, close to 3 years ago now. The Perfecto. It's a wooden handled badger brush off of Amazon. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it, but I'll put a link to the Parker razor and this brush down in the description. Our soap is one of my favorites. It's unobtainium now, so I use it sparingly. It's Tom Salk from Declaration Grooming. The scent is from Chatillon Lux. Did I say that right? Let's see. I practiced it. See, here in, from somebody from Northwest Alabama who lives in West Tennessee, it would just be Chatillon Lux. It is Chatillon Lux. I think that's correct. But it's Tom Salk, and it's named after the highest mountain in Missouri. My granddad always said Missouri. He's from the Boot Hill area. It's my understanding people there say Missouri. Other people say Missouri. It rises to about, I think it's like 1770, something like that, feet, so 1,770 feet above sea level. And the notes in here are what you would smell on top of Tom Salk. It's cedar, juniper, and cold air. So it's a little mentholated and smells like a forest. There's also an earthiness in there, and I'm not sure, there's different types of cedar woods, and I'm not sure if it was a fragrance oil or an essential oil that was used in there. I've also got the splash here, which is a little different than some of the other Chatillon Lux and Declaration combinations. Actually, this one doesn't have a Declaration on it at all. It's just from Chatillon Lux, and it's also unobtainium. You can see the two birds there on the front, kind of a cool label. Let's take this $10 Perfecto Badger in here into the Tom Salk soap. This is in the Icarus base, by the way, not the milk steak base. I don't think this was ever made in the milk steak base. So it's a darker soap. We're gonna do a face lather. When I got this brush, it wasn't too long after that I ordered like an Omega synthetic brush. And one of the things I noticed about the difference between Badger, even though this, this is I guess a lower quality Badger hair, I noticed how much the Badger brush, the bristles retained heat from the water. You could just tell it was warmer when dipped in the water than, say, the synthetic brush was. This brush is nice, y'all. I mean, seriously, it's 10 bucks. It could stand to have a little bit more backbone, but not really. I mean, particularly for a softer soap from some artisans. But Tom Salk Mountain is named after a Native American chief. His actual name has the word Salk in it. It's like the middle syllable, but European settlers couldn't say it, and so it just got turned into Tom Salk. We'll try to put a little more water on this and see what we get. Tried 3 times to get this haircut. One day I had to cancel, and then the lady that cuts my hair had to cancel because her son tested positive for COVID. If I had a barber who could shave me, I would, definitely go in and let him or her do that. Most of the people that cut hair, at least in this area, are went to cosmetology school, I guess. I assume even the men, but many of them are not licensed barbers, so they can't do shaves. I've wondered about going to the local, there is a barber school here in town. And seeing if it would be a little scary to go down there and let them practice on you. If you've ever done that, if you've ever gone to a barber school to get a haircut or a shave, let me know in the comments below. And the first and only hot towel shave I've ever had in a barbershop was in the Derby City Chop Shop in Louisville last summer, and they used a shavette similar to this. Okay, so Persona Red in here. Let's stretch a little bit. Let's lay it flat. My two straight razors, the Ralph Ost and the Gold Dollar, are out at my friend Ken's. Mailed them out to him to get them honed up. The Ralph Ost, was obviously sharp from Maggard's. I'm just not sure if it was sharp enough. I felt like I had to put too much pressure. I have to be careful. I got into the goatee a little bit there. Sorry, got off camera there for a minute. I was tempted to use a Kai or feather blade in this DE Shavette. Let's try the left hand. I'm obviously not as comfortable with it as I am with the right hand. Hard to find that. Where that sideburn is there, although it's, as you can see, growing out of control. So yeah, it is just really hard for me to do the left hand. I'm going to attempt. It's hard to do it right hand, left hand. I really like handling the commissary razor, that Feather SS. That straight handle to me is much more intuitive. I've seen people hold their straights like this, but just the handle extends out quite a bit. Looking, I was feeling it back over here. I got a little nick there, and looks like a lot of irritation there. These first Shavette shaves probably should have been silent shaves. In other words, I could record the shave and then, dub over it with audio. Yeah, pretty good nick there and some irritation. It's a little harder. In fact, I may use a D to make sure I'm close enough on the line of this No Shave November goatee. Since I'm still new at this. Yeah, Yep. I really did irritate it over here on this side. Oh well. Have to start somewhere. I'm back in here for a second pass. I normally on my DE shaves, DE safety razor shaves, go from a with the grain pass to a cross grain pass and then against the grain. But when I'm learning on these newer, or at least new to me, do not know. I had this problem last time. I'm been doing the against the grain first. Second instead of the across grain. Because I find that I now understand why people wipe off their razors instead of putting them in the water. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed in some of my recent shaves when I go to stretch, like when I sometimes make faces to stretch, you may have seen I've had a little twitch when I've done that. I was quite a bit concerned. I thought I was having something neurological going on, which clearly it is neurological, but I mean something serious. But I got to thinking that for my full CPAP mask, I've been having to really strap that thing down, like really tighten it to get it to, not leak. Let me spray a little water on here. We'll just get off this. What was I saying? Oh yeah, to keep it from leaking, I just have to really tighten it down when I'm using the full face mask in. I just told my wife, I'm wondering if that's what's causing those face muscle issues. And sure enough, I searched last night, facial twitches, CPAP. It's a really common thing. I'm trying to go to the nasal pillow mask, which just sets under the nose and nothing over the mouth. But there's some challenges in me using that. But it may be the only way I can keep the goatee. I love the scent on this Tom Salk. It's such a fresh, it's earthy and dark, but fresh at the same time. So, definitely if you're fond of being outdoors, going on hikes, it's got a fresh, slightly green scent, but mostly this earthy base, which again, be the cedar wood and somewhat of the juniper, and then that, crisp cold air, which definitely is from the juniper, and the menthol in there. With doing these, it's hard for me to, it's hard to figure out how to do. That feels a little dry. When I find myself getting embarrassed about how bad I am with using these, once again, I keep putting it in the water. When I get embarrassed and sidetracked about how slow, sloppy, cumbersome, and unskilled I currently feel using particularly these folding type razors, because I like the commissaries quite a bit. Gosh, how do you get there and go up? I mean, across. You know what? I think I'm gonna finish up with the DE on the cross screen. I've got the Mercur 43C here with a Kai blade. I definitely think the next time I use this Parker Shavette, I'm going to try either the feather or the Kai in there. Let me know in the comments, like in your opinion, what are some of the D blades that are just a notch below sharpness on the feather and the Kai? Because I'm getting such a good experience with those in the Feather SS, I'm actually ready to try the Feather Super Professional. Let's clean up a couple of places there. Let me know, which ones in the D category you think are close to feathers and Kais. But right now I'm kind of leaning towards just switching to feathers and Kai blades. I know they're more expensive, but I feel like I've been doing this long enough that I just get better shaves with them. And my normal trouble areas down here. Guys, I can tell you too that I have irritated my face with that Shavette, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep trying. Sorry, I know for you experienced folks it's painful to watch, but those of you that are novices like me and may not have even done this once, hopefully you're learning something from what I'm doing. Let's see what we got here. Spot right there we need to. I grabbed the Shavette again instead of the DE. Gosh, I'm not concentrating today. It's passable. It'll do for today. I don't want to irritate it much anymore. I'm going to rinse off and I'll come back with the post shave. Okay, so I normally don't use the alum that much, but because I irritated my skin, by the way, PAA with the dry dock system, the PAA alum with the little rubber band around it. I know this is going to give me some, it's going to talk back to me. Oh yeah. Yowzer. So those of you that are experienced with straights or folding shavettes like that one, if you have any tips in terms of grip, when those areas where you saw where I struggled to find the right angle and that kind of thing, please don't hesitate to let me know. Ooh, I can feel that. Maggard shave fan out, which again is just a box from a Maggard shipment. Speaking of shipments, I've got a special shave coming up later this week. It's just all I'm going to say is a special shave. Boy, look at how irritated that is. Gosh, boy, I did some damage. But hey, no active bleeding. But I'd almost rather have a nick that was bleeding I could put some styptic on rather than how aggravated that is. Since I have messed it up quite a bit, I'm going to dip down here and get one of my favorite things to use, which is also unobtainium because they quit making it. This is the medicated version of the Thayer's Witch Hazel. It's got camphor and some other essential oils in it. Oh, I love this stuff. It's definitely medicinal smelling, but when you've done a number on your neck like that, it's helpful to have that medicated stuff. All right, I'm gonna dry this off too. It's kind of embarrassing to be going to get your hair cut and have a bunch of razor burn. Let's go in here with the Tom Salk. This has got some menthol, so this should help cool it down. I love this splash. Oh, that's so nice, that evergreen, crisp, but yet a little earthy. The splash is not as earthy as the soap. All right, and I had not necessarily planned to balm the prep post-shave emulsion. So this is not the prep pre-shave, same people that make prep pre-shave, but this is their emulsion post-shave. And I like it as much as the Mirasol, if not a little better. And true to this shave, talking so much, not really paying attention, I got way more than I needed. But it absorbs so well because it is an emulsion. Man, look at that. Usually I meant to splash a little of the Tom Salk aftershave in there with the balm, just to kind of give it a scent. I actually often will go back over a balm with just a little bit of the splash to thin it out and give me a little bit of the scent. Yeah, man, that is pretty embarrassing. Well, you know, hey, you learn, right? Okay. So, Tom Salk soap. Great stuff. Unfortunately, hard to find. I'm sure there's people out there that would sell you a puck if they have it. You're not getting mine. Well, you know, it depends on what price you throw at me. But I just love this stuff. And it makes me feel connected to my granddad since he was from Missouri. And yeah, I probably wouldn't let that one go. Oh well. I've now done my first DE Shavette shave. So the next time you see me, hopefully this mop will be much shorter, much more manageable. Like I said, the next video should be a pretty special one. That's just a little bit of a teaser. At least it'll be special to me. I'll be using a product I've never used before, but one I've always wanted to use, and also be kind of a special event. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching and take care, man.